my sights on a brand new beginning. A steady rhythm will hold me to the shore. I've got my sights on a brand new beginning. A steady rhythm will hold me to the shore.
Good evening, everyone. What's that opening? Anyway, tonight is the first day of the Blitz Premier Cup Season 3, and we begin with the Stage 1 group stage, and tonight I'm following all the games of VE1L. So first up we have VE1L versus CHRD, and then VE1L versus R3TI after that. Before we continue, I have to change something, and I'll be back very soon, and I will go through what is going to happen at this stage and whatnot. There is quite something to brief. Sorry, not breathe. Brief. For some reason, this is not downloading. Okay, great. This is downloading, so hopefully with this out of the way, we will begin very quickly. Okay, so let's go. So tonight here are the groups in stage 1. So it was drawn last week, and it was a very epic draw. So how it was drawn is that there are 4 teams per pot. So there are 3 pots and consisting of 4 teams. So if you do the maths, that will be 12 teams. So each pot will allocate 2 teams to group 1 and 2 teams to group 2. So that way you won't have, for example, Jones, LOCA and Serenity all in the same group. This has been considered to prevent this scenario from happening. So pot 1 we have LOCA, Jones, Serenity and Raid. Pot 2 we have VE1L, CHRD and Immortals, with pot 3 being SPRTA, TTT, R3TI and ZGS. So if you can do a little bit of math, if you remember all the pots, just refer back to my stream last week. Then hopefully I didn't break anything. Then this draw is valid. Anyway, that's not the most important thing. I will be following group 2 tonight, because we have VE1L versus CHRD and VE1L versus R3TI. So most of the match, so all the games you're seeing tonight are in group 2. My stream is probably not the best. You might want to check out Noob Eater's stream, or N9000. He will be following probably the most important games in this stage. So for stage 1, we have top 2 teams qualifying directly to stage 3 upper bracket first round, and the 3rd and 4th of each group will qualify to stage 2 last chance tournament, where 2 teams from this last chance tournament will qualify to lower bracket first round of stage 3. So they will start with only 1 life, and the top 2 teams of this stage will have 2 lives. All the games tonight will be in best of 5, including stage 2 last chance tournament. Here is the map pool for this tournament. So this is identical with Blitz EU Cup map pool. So that means we have removed Fort Despair and Dynasty's Pearl from the map pool, and including Ghost Factory in this map pool here. And we are proud to announce that this tournament will be sponsored by Harry, and you'll see the links popping up again. So I believe, do we have Ghost Factory being played? Yes, we will have Ghost Factory being played, but not this stage. So you will see Ghost Factory being played in stage 3 only once, from what I'm seeing right now, only in the upper bracket final. For some reason, luck Luck has allocated Ghost Factory to be played only once in this tournament. So lucky for the teams who haven't been familiar with the tournament map of with the tournament meta of Ghost Factory. But for some reason, Luck has also allocated Rockview to appear 5 times in this 4 times in as a tiebreaker map. So I think a lot of clans could potentially play train on Rockview a lot of times, and in total it will appear 6 times in this tournament. So you have this, and normally this is what is meant by luck or random draw, because random draw is not as random as you think. This is normal, completely normal phenomenon. Right. So we'll go to this. For some reason, my browser source are loading. Yes. Here you'll be seeing all the games tonight, and it will be updated accordingly. The reason why you might not want to follow my stream tonight is that I'll be hopping back and forth, changing stuff up, keeping tracks, keeping everything in check. So I will be quite distracted, especially in between matches. So bear with me for that. I will interact with the bottom half of this screen, as you are seeing. Will show the table, but because I'm using browser source, it keeps on resetting for some reason. I don't know if there is a control somewhere that prevents. Oh, so shutdown source when not visible. So I assume this is going to help. Well, I have to check. If this is not going to when this is not if this is not going to change anything. All right, so let's do some kind of experiment here. Just huge apologies. All right. Okay, so this. Hopefully this will appear correctly. If I hop to another scene and I go back to the scene, to this scene, it should show the table completely without resetting everything that I just did. Hopefully we have more viewers soon as well. At the moment we are seeing only 3 concurrent viewers. Not a lot tonight, because we have a lot of streams tonight happening at the same time. We have 6 streams happening tonight. So thank you very much if you are staying for my stream. Let's do this experiment once again. We thank Harry for the sponsorship. Let's change and see if it's going to change. Yes, it's going to remain the same. So this is the table below. These will all be updated as the stream goes by, and I believe we have the room soon. And I just have to find the password. I would not say it on the stream, obviously. And hopefully you will see my terrible ugly face very soon. The password is blah 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 blah. Okay, so we're going to go in. That's the wrong password. Got the wrong password. I'll pay the reward. You have the wrong password. I'll get this fixed very soon. So we'll be back soon. Right, hopefully we'll get the right room this time. Yeah, for some reason I can't. Let me just yeah, for some reason it's the wrong password. Believe no specs. No specs, we can't have specs. Thank you. Alright, so believe for some reason here we go. There is a bit of a delay for my for this game. Bit of confusion from the room moderator. But here we go. Here is the lineup, and I believe we won't waste like 3 more minutes on this. Although, like, technically, you can have 5 minutes on 5 minutes after the start time. If anyone is late, basically, we're less stringent than wargaming on this aspect. But here we go. Hopefully now I have restarted my computer and I cleared up quite a lot of junk from my computer. Now it's going to run a lot more smoothly, and also this stream as well. It's not going to be dropping frames left, right, and center for tonight. And Vale will be going with this setup tonight. Double 60GP, Concept 1B, triple IS7, and Mouse, played by Elysium. CHRD will be going for triple 60TPs, double IS7s, AMX50B by Jordan and Coke in the Vickers Light. So CHRD is it's not the same CHRD in the autumn season. They have combined with A1L1 after the autumn season. And we are now on Port Bay. I believe that's the right map. I just have to double check if that's the right map. That's the right map. Great job. I'll be going in here. As for Vale, this is a bit of different. I think we are seeing some players that we haven't seen in the autumn season, such as Criminal. I believe Comedy was in Vale. I can't confirm that, but I think it is the case. Which I will also have to change the sides because it's not correct. So I'm very sorry about this. Don't worry. This is going to happen quite quickly, and we have flipped both sides. Anyway, end of rubbish talking. So we're now seeing Vale. Red team usually has taken a lot of hits already, trying to get the spots up, but Vale looking here, Tasked and Killer going a bit aggressive, but CHRD are even more aggressive, trying to go beyond B. But that elicited a response from Vale to push over to CHRD now, with Pablo going to be the focus from Vale, down to 555 hit points. That's quite a good number. Taken out by Vamillo, obviously. Ooh, big shots into Ozan, and also taking a fire as well. Great shot to Ozan, however, this is going to descend into anarchy. I'm very sorry, but Ozan is now dead. So now 7 versus 5. We're seeing Eagle Cheeky down to 2 hit points. Mercy being surrounded by Vale's tanks. Big shot into Laurel here. Eagle Cheeky now killed. It's now 6 versus 4. Mercy is now being removed from this battle. And the next focus for Vale will be going for Mimo and CHRD. Looked quite disorganized in this one, I have to say. I think they had a good idea, but they don't seem to quite consolidate. I think they went a bit too complicated potentially with how they move, because they are trying to divide their battles into several different pockets, and it seems they aren't really able to connect with those pockets, and I think that's the main problem for CHRD this year. Vale looked a lot more connected and a lot more coherent, I have to say. And this game will go to Vale 1-0. Well done to Vale. This is not over yet for CHRD. This best of 5 series. Whichever team wins the first 3 matches will win the fixture. And it's a great start for Vale nonetheless. Looking at the damage here, Pablo only did 0 damage, unfortunately. Vale didn't fluster at all when CHRD did a very aggressive move at the start. 4 tanks still more than 2k, CHRD only with 3. So well done to Vale, 1-0 to Vale so far. And we're going to the other side of Port Bay. Alright, so we are seeing some changes. Vale going with double IS7, triple M60, a Vickers Light, and a 60 TP. On the other hand, CHRD going for double 60 TP, a concept 1B, double IS7, potentially Vickers Light by Cook, and Mimo may be playing in the Yamskio. We'll see if that's the case. Remember, 2 minutes of mandatory countdown, so both teams could use this break time to discuss tactics, prepare themselves, have a bit of a break, don't have to hurry too much. Someone's saying Veil. And here we go, both teams are ready. We will be waiting until 2 minutes have 2 minutes of countdown have commenced. So this is why we are waiting. CHRD is finalized with 2 minutes past. Double 60 TP concept will be double I7, an M6 and a Vickers Light. Going back to Port Bay, CHRD definitely need to consolidate their movement. Their tactics looked quite. Looked quite comprehensive, but it seems. But let's see if they can connect the dots this time. They can Veil this time. Following tasks and killer shrines, but whoever's going for B, they're approaching a bit defensively this time, or maybe not. They're trying to put most of the forces to C. Meanwhile, CHRD is actually the clan that is going for a more defensive setup. They're waiting for Veil to make a move, and as you can see, Jordan in the Composite 1B. Previously, you will see the T110 E3 taking this position, but we know TDs are now a lot less. Have a lot less hit points than heavy tanks, so this is why you're seeing Composite 1B taking this row instead, trying to reset C, but they are unable to do so. Cook in that Vickers Light also unable to reset C, but they are able to spot quite a lot of tanks here. So this is really not a good start for CHRD. Their original tactic did not quite work out, and Veil will have a slight hit point and cap point advantage. So the advantage is going for Veil, and all Veil needs to do is to kind of hold, defend. All eyes will be on both B and C, particularly B. You might the C would not be as much of a big deal as B, because pretty much Veil's forces are there. B is a lot harder to reset. Basically, it's just a lot further away from where most of the tanks of Veil are positioned, so it's quite a waiting game for both teams here. CHRD, they will have to find out where to rotate. They need the information. They don't have a light tank. They have a light tank with Coke. I think Coke will be very important. We can follow Coke for a few moments here. For a moment here, trying to get spots up, trying to figure out where most of Veil's forces are positioned, or is Veil trying to look at a potential push over to Fardy? I mean, Veil doesn't need to do much. They have the cat lead, I believe. If my eyesight is not working, then it's CHRD, but it's really close. So I would say Veil might also want to do a rotation, just to be sure, because really a second in C would mean that CHRD will get a cat lead back, and that would be a totally different story to tell. So this is why Veil is also being a bit aggressive now. Well, let's look at there we go. Elysium here, taking some hits. Both teams dropping some hit points. But CHRD has dropped more hit points. So Port Bay, we more like Port Camp. Both teams really holding. Nothing is happening. We have 4 minutes remaining to go. Remember, 5 cap points of increase per 2 seconds. So most of the teams push at the 800 cap point mark. So if you do the maths here, as we always do, we only have around 1 minute to go before we see a lot of action happening. And CHRD definitely do not want to drop too many hit points here, because they are the clan that needs to make a move, that needs to make a rotation. Coke dropping into B, that could elicit a response from Veil. But for some reason, CHRD is going to make a big push onto Lauro, thinking that Lauro is the isolated tank. Is Veil ready for this push? Veil still has more hit points, but it's a 3 versus 1, potentially 4 versus 1 onto Lauro, and they're not really grouping up, and that could be a big problem here. CHRD is being quite hesitant is also another problem, so really down to which team makes the fewer mistakes. At the moment, Lauro is quite low, but CHRD haven't been able to get Lauro out of the way quickly. Now, both Task Killer and Comedy going for both A and B, and that is wearing Veil's forces a bit thin. But Chiraiders, if they keep on hesitating, that would not bode well for them. They have the cap lead now. But they will lose all 3 caps, and they're still not pushing into the quite spread of forces, and they're now trapped in the pocket. They're now trying to go for Comedy here. But I think this kind of indecision is going to cost Chiraiders the game hugely. Now Fardy's now dead. It's now 6 versus 4. 6 versus 5. I can't do maths. Comedy is the next tag for focus for Chiraiders, but no. Veil taking those 3 caps proved to be instrumental, and they will get the second match. Well done to Veil and Chiraiders. Really, they really had the upper hand at one point. But I believe their indecision to push in it has proven costly. I mean, for some reason they did not push in when I mean, they got B, they had the cap lead, but they forced themselves to be trapped in the corner and really not able to get loud that quickly, and really not capitalizing on Veil being that being not very well grouped up. I mean, there are quite a few isolated tanks there, so really a good push will make it difficult for Veil to regroup. I mean, the focus fire is not really it's not really hard to call there. Chiraiders really had the opportunity to seal the game for them, but they really went for a cap win. In the end, it backfired tremendously, and Veil. That was a really shaky game, I have to say. Not gonna lie, it was quite shaky, but they got it through the end, and I really like how they got both A and B back. But that was quite risky coming from the kind of the lineup they are having, the formation they were having at the time. Chiraiders really had the opportunity to shut down the eyes of the tanks of Veil. But anyway, we're now moving on to Winter Maninovka. 2-0 for Veil now. Well done to Veil. And it's now match point to Veil. And if Veil wins the next one game win for Veil, and Chiraiders is really not starting the night well. They looked kind of inexperienced for some reason. Chiraiders and A1L1 are the top 2 clans in the Challengers tournament in the autumn season, so definitely they should have more experience. But they should have some experience. Well, not saying Veil has less experience than Chiraiders. Obviously, they have more experience because they were the top 8 clan in the autumn season. But Chiraiders definitely, and I mean, combining with A1L1, it does look like they have trouble in the chemistry. In the chemistry, and they can't really utilize their experience well. So for some reason, they just need a little bit more time to gel, and it seems they haven't been able to gel in the last 2 matches. We are now on to Winter Maninovka. And we're now seeing Veil ready with triple IS7, double M60, a Vegas Light, and a Concept 1B. And looking at Chiraiders, we have potentially they will be taking quadruple 60 TPs, a Concept 1B, and IS7 M60. Port Bay is somewhat different than Winter Maninovka. Winter Maninovka is even more broad. It's even broader. So perceptually, it feels a bit bigger. But Wargaming said all maps have the same scale. But some maps will feel bigger than the others because some maps have a bigger area of the spaces that you can't go to. Obviously, for example, Dynasty's Pearl, there is quite a huge percentage of space you can't go to because of the buildings. You can't tunnel the buildings. You can't do quantum physics there. And then you have maps like Oasis Palms, where you have a huge field in the desert area where you can really roam around. So this is why some maps will feel bigger and some maps will not. But I digress. Now going into Winter Maninovka, totally different story now. We will see how well he's going to play. Chiraiders, they need to get into the game. So far, they look quite off, and I expect something better than them. And I hope they will get a really good performance here now. because that won't be good. That will be an important defeat for them, an important win for VE1L. You know, at least VE1L, they want to get into the top 2. That's the target. And we are now seeing Tactical. Really interesting to see Tactical going for really defensive spotting, more likely to do a cap reset rather than spotting. So this is not something that I see often in a Vickers light, but VE1L putting most of the tanks near A. So obviously Tactical is going to relocate, might get C, or might not. He's spotted now. Now VE1L's putting their tanks over to Pablo. For some reason, CHRD is unable to get Varmilla out of the way, rather than VE1L really putting some really great shots onto Pablo here. Pablo now down to 2 shots, and EOG is coming from behind, going to put a great shot into Pablo. Yes, it is. Varmilla bouncing all the shells here. No, I mean, he fired the shells effectively. He's more like he bounces the shells firing at him. That's to say. Now Cook is now getting Varmilla here. Ozan is going to get a great shot to Varmilla, and Cook is going to be killed. Varmilla's finally dead, but at what cost? At the cost of 2 tanks of CHRD Raiders. So well done to VE1L, really capitalizing on CHRD Raiders being not quick with not being very clinical with the kills. Bertie is now dead. Ozan is going to be next tank down potentially, and it will be the case. It's now 6 vs 3 with oh no! Elysium got an unfortunate ammo rack, but will that change things? I highly doubt. Mimo got rammed by Eagle Chihi, will be killed by Criminal and Fardy. Great shot to Eagle Chihi, but that could only be a consolation prize, and VE1L can land an ammo rack somewhere here. Maybe not. Fardy unfortunately has to surrender. Gets absolutely surrounded. It's floundered, even a word. Even the right word for this. Mauled. Absolutely mauled and gnawed to death. Lauro epic spec, and VE1L really didn't have any trouble at all in this game. CHRD Raiders looked very hesitant tonight so far, and they haven't been able to kill the tanks quickly enough. And VE1L, they are a top 8 team. They showed the reason why they are a top 8 team. Very quick with their kills. Overall, moved a lot better than CHRD Raiders. There are some moments that I think their formation looked a bit easy for the opposing team to focus them down. But CHRD Raiders was unable to capitalize on that, and now VE1L 5 tanks to more than 2k. Overall, a bit of a shaky performance in the middle, but the last match was a comprehensive victory from them. That was very convincing for me, and 3-0 it is for VE1L. Who would have expected that? Lauro is freezing, that's why he is spectating. Well done to VE1L, 3-0 for them, and we move on to VE1L versus R3TI in the next match. Well, we got 12 viewers, thank you for joining in, but I think the most exciting matches will happen tonight. In New Beta stream, I would say. So here we go. CHRD Raiders losing to VE1L 0-3. At the same time, we can see if it's going to update automatically, and it's going to update automatically, I believe. Maybe not the table. I am not seeing any changes to the table just yet. And do we have other results coming in? Yes, we do. Jones 3-0 to LOCA. Well, that's something that we did not. Well, we have a lot of 3-0s tonight so far. 3-0 for Jones, 3-0 for Serenity, and we also have 3-0 from Raid. Well, this is not the start we are expecting. So far, all games in Group 2 have ended 3-0. Well, that will put Serenity, VE1L, and Raid in the first place, and ZGS, CHRD Raiders, and R3TI at the bottom of the pile. going with Jones 3-0. That is an important match, important win for them. Basically, if they can win against LOCA, even if they lose to Val, and I hope they don't, and with an emphatic scoreline, a 3-0 scoreline for them, Jones, and LOCA not getting anything from this, that could mean Jones are looking very secure in the top 2, potentially. I would say Group 1 is a group of death here. We are waiting for the results of Val versus SPRTA and Immortals versus TTT. Wow. What an opening it is tonight. Okay. Ellie didn't. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness me! And it will be 3-1 for Immortals. Very important win for Immortals, however. Because I would be expecting Immortals, TTT, and SPRTA really looking for the last place in for the last chance tournament, and that was an important win for Immortals here, 3-1 to TTT. If they continue this way, then Immortals definitely have the upper hand here. But we are waiting for Val versus SPRTA. So far, the games are still going, so we don't know the end result yet. We still have around 21 minutes to go. The games have ended quite quickly. I'm just going to see. I just have to paint this. Alright, so will the tables update? Let me just see. Will the tables update? Okay, yes, the tables have updated. I just have to press refresh cache, and the cache, and then everything will be refreshed. Oh, yeah, they're brilliant. So we're just waiting for SPRTA versus Val, and that is currently streamed by Exit, I believe. He is streaming in Polish. Yes, commentating in Polish. So we're still waiting for the last match, the last game, Val versus SPRTA, and we'll see what kind of result we'll see the final result. I believe we are fine with everything. Everything seems to be running smoothly. Let's say, yep, we're waiting for the final results of Val versus Sparta. And this is why we love tournaments, because it can be quite close, but we are off to a very astounding start. Just put it in this way. It's still happening. I don't want to go and look at the scoreline. We'll give the spotlight. Brilliant. Let's see. Because we still have a lot of time left. Know what to do, actually. Let's talk more about the maps here at the moment. So once again, we are proud to announce to be that we are proudly sponsored by Harry. Tonight we are following CHRD versus Vale and Vale versus ZGS. It has ended 3-0 for Vale. As for Vale versus ZGS, it has ended. It hasn't ended. These are the group picks for tonight, and Group 2 has begun with very emphatic scoreline for Serenity, Raid, and Vale. And this is the format. It's kind of complicated, but it's really not. Top 2 of each group will qualify to stage 3 directly. So at the moment we have Vale, Serenity and Raid in the number 1 spot, so only 2 of them will qualify directly to the stage 3 upper bracket first round. We won't see Jones versus Sparta today. We will see that happening tomorrow. And let me find out who's going to stream that for a second. That will be streamed by Robert. Robert will be following that tomorrow. And here are the maps, obviously, not going to repeat. And once again, not going to repeat that. Thank you very much, Harry, for the donation to the prize pool. And if you want to donate to the tournament, the links are below. I believe I haven't removed them. Donate to the links, and hopefully it will be really good if you could donate some to the prize. At the moment we are not getting any, do not have any commercial sponsors, so really great if you could chip in a little bit. It would be really good if, for example, tonight we have like 10 viewers at the moment watching, €5 each. Don't donate to my don't donate to my super chat. It takes time to process, and I'll take that as a personal donation rather than prize pool donation. So if you each chip in €5, already €50, and that's quite a lot for the prize pool. We have 20 viewers at the moment watching. That's already €100 coming from each single one of you. For example, like the stream last week where we have 80 viewers at one point looking at the group draw and so on. We are already talking about €400 in the prize pool, and that's already more than half of the current prize pool at the moment. So very helpful if you could donate some to the prize pool. And I believe, wow. Congratulations to Sparta. Oh, that was an amazing win from Sparta. 3-2. That is a great start for them. Considering also Sparta was assigned pot 3 and they have won a team a pot above them. Well, if they can continue this, we do have a four-way tie, for Group 1. That's going to be extremely exciting to watch. So SPRTA, that was an upset there, 3-2 to Val. Oh, hello Otto. Well, I haven't really seen you on the stream, so really thank you. I think Otto, well, I remember Otto is a really popular YouTuber in the world of Tank Split, so go and check his channel and subscribe, obviously. But SPRTA, well, that was an important win. That will put them in the third place, sadly, because they've lost 2. The Val, really, a bit worried, because originally I was very worried Val, Jones and Loca all in the same group, and I saw privately how well Val was doing in trainings. For them to lose SPRTA must be a huge disappointment for them, but they still have time to catch up. They still have time to get a place in the top 2, but that would be really hard. That means they have to win both Loca and Jones in order to still have a chance. Losing against SPRTA won't be a good start for them, but the next game we will have TTT Jones, Loca versus Val, SPRTA versus Immortals in Group 1, and Group 2 we have Veil versus Retsy, Raid versus Serenity, and ZGS versus Chai Raiders. But also, I'm looking at the public chat and server. It doesn't seem like Serenity is happy about ZGS as their opponent. Don't know what's going on, but it doesn't sound really good for them. But we do have a tiebreaker, so that's great to see. What do I expect from next for Veil versus Retsy? I think it will be I think it could be a lot closer. We saw Retsy, they are a competent team. And Chai Raiders against ZGS, that will be interesting to watch. I would say ZGS, this is the time they need to pick back, they need to recuperate. Chai Raiders as well. Chai Raiders, they really looked off, and from that performance you would probably question why they did really well in the challenges tournament. There could also be the problem of merging clans. It's good if you have some really good players at your disposal. But merging clans comes with a huge issue that is to do with chemistry. Whether you're able to get your chemistry to the same level as before after merging that takes a lot of time. And we will see if Chari is able to come back from this. I believe them. They are a good team. They have really good players. They can't come back from that. And as for Veil versus Retsy, this is going to be exciting to watch. And Veil, they want to remain to be at the top of the table tonight. A win against Retsy would do the job. Raid versus Serenity, that will also be another important match. I'm predicting really the top 2 is between Veil, Raid, and Serenity. And that's for Group 1. That is going to get a lot complicated now that SPRTA is against Val. But we will see. We will have around 9 minutes left to go. So what do you think about the performance so far? Have you, for the viewers watching this stream, for the 10 viewers watching this stream, have you looked at the matches of other games? I mean, what do you think? Do you think Veil would win against Retsy? What are your predictions? Just tell us here. Hello, Gaseo Jones, how are you doing? congratulations on beating LOCA 3-0. That was an emphatic win. Well done. We are, I mean, obviously it's not good to say, but we will be we were expecting LOCA to put up a fight, but maybe they had. And Jones just did really well in all these 3 games, and maybe the scoreline is just fooling us. But we will see about Jones versus. We will see about Jones. They look very good. That was an important win for them, and they will be playing against TTT next. And SPRTA versus Immortal. SPRTA, can they ride high after that amazing performance against Val? And that will also bode them well if winter season is coming around, because we still haven't received any notification from Wargaming whatsoever. And I assume that's not going to happen next week, because if that's going to be the case, and it would have been announced today, that's not the case. So I would say maybe at the end of the week we'll get the announcement, and maybe the first matches will begin next Friday. I don't know, next weekend. Next weekend, I mean. I don't know. But last year it happened at the end of January, so I'm not sure what's going to happen this time. But yes, let's see about this. Well, it does seem like there is some kind of issues. Oh no. That would be a headache for us if we're seeing some kind of revelation there. At the moment, no team has joined. We'll begin with Alpenstadt. That's a sense of Rockfield. I can see the typo there. I have to double check if that's the right maps. Yep. Alpenstadt, Descent, and Rockfield. So I'd say Alpenstadt and Descent are 2 really different maps. Rockfield will be kind of similar as Descent, but not quite really. I think the main difference is really the middle. Well, actually, speaking of this, it's these 2 maps are quite different. I mean, Descent, I mean, both maps favor a more mobile setup because of the openness of these 2 maps. But then you have the opposite for the middle side for these 2 maps. Descent, you have the plateau in the middle because of the rails. So you have the rising, so that means both sections of the map. The west section, the desert area, and the city area, which is the east section, they are segregated, and you can't really fly from one side to another. Rockfield you can, because the middle is depressed. So that's quite a different scenario in terms of the topography, but in terms of the openness, both maps are somewhat similar. You have the desert area pretty much open, and very few areas that you cannot traverse to. City side is a bit different, but then the buildings are quite low, so that means you could potentially be able to shoot tanks in the city area from the top. Rockfield is a different story. You have a lot more areas that can be that are shielded naturally. I'm not going to do the joke of it. This is of Cortana really saying this is not a natural formation. It must lead to somewhere. So we will see about this. We have 4 minutes to go until the next matches start. Yeah, oh, both teams have already come in. So here we go. Both Ratty and Vale are now here. I'm not sure if the rules have stated you can start early, but I assume you can't. But I do say we are off to a start on time if things go the right way. Ratty, coming from the pre-qualifications did really well, I have to say. Let's see what they're going to show us tonight. We are seeing potentially double 60 TPs, double Water 3s, a mouse, a concept 1B, and potentially Iki in the IS7. I believe Iki is the one calling for Retty's team. Veil, on the other hand, we have the following. But I don't think I'm allowed to announce a setup. Sorry, haven't seen that. Maybe that's not the fun to see. You haven't heard what I've said. But I will announce the lineup once I'm in. Oh, they have changed. That's not the right lineup. Now that they know that I accidentally spoiled their plans. They won't be happy about this. But this is not a setup that I see often. So Retty, really bold choice here. Veil, more of a typical choice. Let's see what's going on. What's going to happen? And there we go. Stinge saying he will get to play against Gaseo. That's always a good thing. Jones is a really good clan. They've knocked out BPS in the autumn season. And we're going to show the lineup because we're going to start on time, and there is less than 2 minutes left to go. So the stream delay will not catch up, and both teams will not know what both teams are going to take. So Veil going with a concept 1B, double IS7, double 60p, and Vicus Light and M60. Retty on the other hand, double IS7, double 60p, double projector, and a mouse. We don't see double projector often, but oh my god. If you see my platoon win rate, not really platoon win, you can't really see that. You can see my win rate in the projector 65, and that comes primarily from platooning with another projector. You would know that double projectors can be very powerful. They have the speed, they have a bit of the armor, obviously. They are the only medium tank or the light tank that has the auto reloading mechanic. So if you are in the line of sight of the double projectile 65s, not something you'll be happy about. So we're going to start really soon, and assume everything is going to be right here. Then it seems Raid has a little bit of trouble getting in, but anyway, we're now in. Open shot. Veil versus Red Team. Veil, we're riding high from the brilliant performance from the last game. Red Team lost to the other clan. I forgot. Lost to Raid 3-0. So they are coming from a disappointing start. So will the momentum be in favor of Veil? We'll find out soon. Looking at Iki here, very interesting, unusual move here. Going down this river, spawning up nothing. They might go for a big push from that side, but Veil has no tanks there. And that's the advantage with the north side. You are closer to both A and C from the north than from the south. So most of the time, the south side would play for a counter strat rather than a cap strat at the start. And we could see Veil. They don't want to push the mouse here, although the mouse is isolated. But that's pretty much what Retty wants Veil to do here. They want them to rush them out so that they can push on the other side and take the holding tanks out. So this is why you might not want to go for the mouse. But it seems Veil has dropped the ball and will go for the mouse. This could go really well or could go very bad. But Retty has not made a move on the other side. So the sacrifice from that mouse here for Evergreen will be futile. And it's dead. The hit points are in favor of Vale right now, and finally, RETTI's made a move on to Common D here. Will be taken out. Hit points are now neck and neck, but this delayed push could have a drastic effect on RETTI here. Now Vale might be surrounded here, but bit surprised they're not going for Debated or DRD here, but they're going for Ike instead. But obviously, decisiveness is always a good thing to see. Van Millen's now dead, and they're now going for Toxpanny. They're now going for the mobile tanks, and I have to say, that could be the right choice here. Great 80 shells onto the backside of Toxpanny. Lauro finishing off. Toxpanny getting killed with 3 shots, and the game is really lagging for me. Grenade shot is the favorite. Iguchi, he's now the focus. Both teams doing really a fine job in the focus fire. Favored now down to 1 shot, tracked, and it's really not cooperating the frames. Favor is now dead. Iguchi also dead. 4 for 3. The gun advantage is with Vale right now. Big shots into Debated or Rouse. So let's call him Rouse for now. Down to 1 shot here. If Laura is able to survive, and Rouse is going to be killed. 4 versus 2. Pencil Case doing all he could to shield Lauro, but is to no avail. But brave effort from Pencil Case nonetheless. And now pretty much on Vale to pick up the pieces. Skiller could still be important in this situation, but the only projectile on the battlefield without his companion, that will be a lot more difficult. Tarston Kill is still really healthy on the battlefield. Vale with a lot more hit points. The Arnie's now dead, leaving Skiller the last person standing, and that's a really great victory from Vale here. And yes, that was a bit of a questionable move trying to push the mouse, but more of a questionable move from RETTI. They were very slow on the other side, knowing that the mouse has been being pushed. And they still haven't done anything when Mouse is pretty much down to 1 shot. So this hesitation really Vale's punishing whichever team is hesitating, and they really did not allow that to slip. And it's going to be 1-0 for Vale and RETTI. Similar problem as CHRD's hesitation is really costing them dearly. And Vale being very astute, very reactive to the surroundings. Really great focus fire as well. I really love to see how Benny got killed in 3 shots. 2 amazing HE shells from behind, and you can't really do much in this situation. A great start for Vale, not a good start for RETTI by any means. Although I would say RETTI might have a better idea, better strategy here. But if you can't react quickly enough, if you're not aware of the surroundings, really, your strategy might not come to fruition. And Vale 1-0. Really, they are riding high tonight, and tomorrow is going to be a big day for them. They haven't played against Serenity and Raid yet. These 2 games are going to be really important for Vale. That will decide whether they will be in the top 2 in their group or not. That will be really huge, a huge advantage for Vale, because that will qualify them directly to the upper bracket first round, where they will have 2 lives. RETTI, they are still trying to find their grip into tonight's game. So far, they haven't. I'm just going to check whether everything is going fine. It seems so. It seems it's fine. Raid has found the room. And there we go. Vale versus RETTI. Vale now looking to play in a triple M60, a Vickers Light Crown, double IS7, RETTI, double 60TP, double IS7, double projectile, and a concept 1B. Open start. Hopefully the frames is not going to be screaming tonight. But at least it seems to be better than last week, at least. Although it's still a late start. Or maybe not. I've jinxed it. Pencil K say thank you to me. Thank you. I feel I don't know why my first impressions it's being them not being genuine. Maybe I'm in the wrong tank, in the heavy tank. Yeah, I think I'm in the heavy tank, and that's why maybe. But that doesn't matter really. I think Pencil Case is in the right spot now. Sorry, I should have taken a medium tank. Please remind me next time. But I won't be streaming tomorrow unless some streamer pulled out at the last minute. Then maybe I'll go for a stream. But big shots into the eye at the moment. Oh, more shots into Rouse. No, another off start for Red Sea. They've dropped some necessary hit points. Otox Benny really going for a shortcut here. Taking double tap already. This is definitely Lauro. Great shot into Scalar. Lauro will be very happy about that. 3 shot into the projectile. They should have taken the longer route down the river. They would not have taken any hits from Lauro. Comedy great shot into Skiller. The double projectile really taking a lot of shots already. And that puts Vale at around 4 down hit points of advantage. And that forces Red Team to now make a move. Really a huge moment for Red Team here where they can connect with different pockets. So you're seeing 4 pockets of encounter of fights here. And the only thing I could do here is to stay up high, and there are 4 areas to fall at the moment. We'll follow this pocket here. Great kill onto Iki here. Seems there's winning this pocket here. On the other hand, Red Sea is struggling to win this pocket. The middle pocket, they seem to have converged. And as for the other side, seems they're fine. The Arnie's now killed. 5 versus 5. Vale needs to kill those one-shots out. Skill is now dead. And Vale's trying to regroup now. Comedy down to 1 shot. Benny's now dead. Good shot into Forever Green for Penske. Forever Green trying his best to use his armor to his utmost advantage, but Forever Green's now dead. Comedy's now dead, leaving now Rouse and Favor, the last 2 tanks remaining on the battlefield. Favor now going to be the focus for Taston and Eagle, and for the other side, Rouse. A 1 shot for both Lauro and Pencil Case. This game once again goes to Rete. Hello, Buvino. I would say the double projectiles did not do well here. They should not have taken the full clip from Lauro, obviously. They should have not gone too greedy there. Really, not that much of a difference if Benny took the route down the river and moved upwards, would not have taken that many hits already. And then there goes Reti trying to push in 4 different areas. I think that confused Vale for a little bit, but because they have lost so many hit points at the start already, this really comes across as a bit dangerous and risky, and it really didn't pay off. And Vale, despite getting caught off guard with so many fights happening at the same time, the hit point advantage did all the job, and no trouble for them at all for them to communicate with 4 different pockets of fight. So I would say Rete, and they really need to be a bit more careful with their movement. They're still not really into the game yet, but they're getting into the game slightly. But really, this is going to be a match point for Vale. If Rete does not get into this match, that's going to be another 3 new results for Vale, and Vale will be really happy about this, because they will be finishing with a perfect record tonight if they win against Rete. And let's see about this. Vale versus Rete. We are now on Desert Sands. Let me update the scoreline as well. Rete really needs to show up now. This is going to be hugely important for them. So far, they haven't won any single games tonight. Tomorrow will be important. They are not out of the fight yet. Vale are on fire. I agree with you. Small to do with Vale being very good as well, but also we saw some potential mistake. Oh, Benny! Really, Benny doesn't have a good night tonight. You do have to feel really sorry for Benny here. But this is really not his fault, to be honest. He's running away quickly, and once again, Vale has the hit point pool advantage. But look at how these triple items just marching on without any regrets. I mean, they just keep on pushing, and it seems to be working fine for them. Oh, big shots into Rouse. Rouse now down to taking more hits. Good HE shell into Rouse, and RT is really defending out in the open a bit. And Reti has no has to push pretty much. They're now trying to get pencil case. Great call here, but that will also mean Vale, the Elysium and Eagle Chi needs to respawn to that. And I think Reti might have a good idea here. They might be able to get 2 tanks out. They need to get those tanks out as soon as possible, because Vale are doing well on the other side. And this is really down to whether they can kill off Elysium quickly enough. But Icky's now dead. It's now 6 vs 6. Tanks are even. They're not able to do that. Ooh, Comedy is now killed. That was a bait hit from the RD here. Great HE shell. I would have doubted that call, but that was a one-shot kill. That might change things, but still Vale with a solid hit point pool advantage. Elysium's now dead. 4 vs 5. I think Vale might be struggling now. I still have a solid hit point pool advantage, but look at the guns. Van Miller could be the next time directly. The focus fire is on point. And they got Van Miller now 3 vs 4. The RD is now dead. Eagle Chi with the next tank down for Retzi. Really, Retzi trying to get this win by immaculate focus fire. Vale, the focus fire. I won't say the focus fire is bad, but Retzi looks a lot more focused with the tanks they're picking at the moment, and skillless bounce doesn't help any matters at all. Favor is now killed. 3 vs 3. Toxpen is now killed, finally. And now Eagle Chi is still alive. Rouse on a long reload, but this is pretty much over for Retzi. Huge commiserations. I think Retzi did really well with the focus fire this time. They've marked the targets well. They were very concentrated on which target to focus on, but Vale, once again, hit point pool advantage gave them a huge advantage, and also they were very clinical with getting the tanks out of the way. Nothing. I don't think Retzi could do much to salvage this match. And you can see Laurel doing more than 5,000 hit points, 1,000 damage in that M60, 4 kills in total. Eagle Chi more than 4,000 hit point damage done in total. Vale 4 times to more into UK. Well done to Vale. 3-0. They are on a perfect record tonight, and what more can I say? Well done to Vale, and let's see. But I would say tonight might be a really good night for Vale, but there is still parts to improve on. I do really like how effective they are with the kills and their shots. I do have a feeling that they need to be really mindful of the formation at times. And some at times. I also really like the decisiveness. This is why they've won their games against the other, because they reacted very quickly, a lot more quickly than the other team, and that won them the games. Or if not, a huge factor winning their games. So it seems our game is the first game to end. We will look at the results very soon. Again, seems it's a lot closer in the next few games. Raid Serenity, ZGS versus CHRD. If we update this browser source here. If we refresh this source. Now Vale is on top with 2 game wins and 6 match wins. So I'd say Vale on the perfect record tonight. And GG's to everyone, obviously. Well done, Retty. I think that last match is probably the best match we have seen from a losing side tonight. Really, the focus fire is really good. I hope they continue that focus fire and move on to the next games. That will be very important to securing that 4th spot. But they really have, but they still have a lot to do. While we wait, let's see if we can play some matches. Going to change the screen. Hopefully it's not going to lag a lot. And yeah, do we have any birthdays? Oh, bad chat. How convenient. And it's supremacy, so it's always a good thing. And I still have to kill a lot of tanks. I have to kill 11 more tanks. Who thought that was a good idea to have a mission killing 25 enemy tanks? And if you average 2 enemy kills, tank kills per game, you need to play more. Play 13 games. That's a lot of games. I don't have time for that. And I think there is one time that I have to play, that I have to win 8 times in a heavy tank and 10 times in the medium or light. Who on earth has at least 18 games to play in a single day? No, I will not be doing that. I will only do one of them. So here we go. Let's see if I can spot. Hopefully that the ping is not going to sabotage my games. That's not fun to say. Nope, that's fine. And more than 90% of the chance you won't get penetrated in that bush when the heavy tank is moving. So don't have to worry too much about getting shot on the tank on the move. Oh, come on. Oh well. Ah! Nope. Nope, let me just reload for a moment. Well, we know there are 2 tanks there. Guerrillas there. Possibly, I can go for a flank. We still have 1 other tank that is not spotted. Oh, how dare you! And we could force the issue. Well, you know what? Probably not a good idea to go flank now. I have a bad feeling about that. Oh, they've killed a heavy tank. Let me get that Death Star. That's more of a problem for me. We'll ignore that T2A and also the heavy tanks. And I'm coming for you. What's that shot? Bye. No, I'm not going to do that. Bye. Yeah, I'm going to die pretty much. That was not a good shot. But it's a win, I think. Believe so. Oh, I don't want to jinx. We have 2 caps. Should be fine. And for some reason, TVP should not play as a heavy tank. Nobody should be able to do that. I have a lot of struggles finding even the rear armor of some heavy tanks. So why would you want to play frontline and TVP facing the frontal armor of heavy tanks? You don't want to do that. Anyway, it's a win. I like that it's a win. There we go. Didn't do a lot, but I swatted 5, so that's at least something to be happy about. Alright, so for a second class to do. I mean, I got a second class doing only 1,423 damage, so that's, well, not a lot of damage, but anyway, second class is second class. What more do you expect? Oh wow, and SPRTA has won 3-0 to Immortals, and that's going to pretty much seal a place in the top 4, I would say. So congratulations to SPRTA. Immortals really not doing well. I mean, in pot 3, beating all the pot 2 teams now. And it's going to be between now the pot 2 teams and also ZGS, not ZGS, and TTT for the 4th spot, potentially. SPRTA. Tomorrow will be important. They still haven't faced Jones and LOCA. Well, we don't know how it's going to go, but that is going to send a dangerous signal to Jones and LOCA. They can't underestimate SPRTA. And if it's going well for SPRTA, they could even be the clan, be a top 8 candidate, and that's going to be a huge story. We haven't seen we have seen some new top 8 clans coming in, but SPRTA would be a great story to tell. And they don't have a lot. They don't have a high average win rate, so that is going to make them even more exciting to watch. Jones 3-1 to TTT. That will put them at the top of the table for tonight. That means LOCA versus VE1L, they are still playing at the moment. So 4-way time potentially, and so now we know the scores. If we update the table, not this table, this table. So that means SPRTA will have 2 game wins. Very strong position at the moment, but they could still drop out of top 4 if they can't win their remaining matches tomorrow. Remaining games tomorrow. And then you have VE1L still in the first place. Jones also in the first place, tied with 2 game wins. So tonight it will be Jones and SPRTA. Potentially VE1L. No, not VE1L. Potential. No, LOCA and VE1L. Either one of them will get 1 game win, and one of them will get 0 game wins. So one of them will be at the bottom of the table, alongside TTT and Immortals. And it will be 3-1 win to Raid. So congratulations to Serenity. 3-1 win for Serenity, I mean. They've made a comeback, and they're coming back strong. So well done to Serenity. 3-1 to Raid. Don't underestimate Serenity. They're a strong team. They were a top 4 team in spring season, and they've shown they are a top 4 hopeful for the winter season. And with Raid losing 1-3 to Serenity, that means it's all on Raid versus VE1L tomorrow. This is going to be very important, and that will be streamed by Nubita N900 tomorrow. That it's going to be the game to watch for tomorrow. And tomorrow I won't be streaming unless there is someone dropping out at the last minute. Rolling Swarm will be streaming LOCA versus TTT, and then ZGS versus Raid, finally VE1L versus ZGS. On the other hand, N900 will be following Raid versus VE1L, VE1L versus Serenity, and also VE1L versus Jones. Finally, Fugit will be following Red Team versus ZGS, TTT versus VE1L, and finally TTT versus SPRTA. And also it ended LOCA a 3-1 victory for them. So that means, oh wow, they will have a big trouble now. It really depends on whether Jones can knock out VE1L from top 2, and that really doesn't look good at all. VE1L currently at the bottom of the table, with LOCA getting that important game win tonight. And SPRTA getting that win against Immortals. So that means now LOCA 1 game win, Immortals only 1 game win. And bottom of the table we have Val and also TTT. Tomorrow Val will be up against Immortals, TTT, and also Jones, and it all depends on whether they can win against Jones to secure a spot. Well, it all depends on whether Val can spoil the party by winning against Jones, and whether SPRTA is able to challenge the top 2 tomorrow. That will be very exciting to watch. And yeah, I would say tomorrow will be the most important day for all of these teams here. And finally, oh, that was a very close one. ZGS barely losing to CHRD. CHRD definitely picked up the performance after that. After that lackluster performance against Vale, 3-2 against ZGS, getting that important game point today. That will favor their chances in the top 4. And they still have matches against REDTI tomorrow, and that match will also be important. That will also decide if they can win against REDTI. That is going to secure a place in the last chance tournament, I presume. So now let me update the table, and I will end the stream pretty much now. And I'll have my dinner. So thank you all for watching. Once again, the update table: Group 1, top 2. SPRTA and Jones, and then 3rd and 4th, Immortals and LOCA. Finally, we have Group 2. Top 2, we have Vale and Serenity. And then 3rd and 4th place, we have Raid and also CHRD, ZGS and REDTI rooted at the bottom of the table. So until next time, thank you for thank you for joining the stream. This not so good stream, and I'll see you tomorrow. And Rolling Swarm will be streaming, and get excited, everyone! He's back, and see you all soon. Thank you, and let me just once again thank Harry for sponsoring this tournament, and apart from that, has been me, Woman's Helper. We'll see you all tomorrow in other streams. So thank you and good